Showcasing local talent, professionals, and everyday people making Salt Lake City what it is today. It's time for another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. This is episode 72. My name is Chris Hollifield. Welcome to my show. Especially if this is your first time listening in. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast and giving it a listen. Feel free to share with your family and friends on your favorite social media site. Helps get the word out there. That way more people check out the show. iamsaltlake.com is the website. Got all the links there. You can find out more about the show. Listen to all the previous episodes. I tell you what, I've talked to some really great people in this area that I believe are making the area just a little bit better. So make sure you go back and listen to all the previous episodes of the show. You can also find us on the Mediocre Radio Network. A lot of really great podcasts involved with that project over at mediocreradionetwork.com. This episode, I had the opportunity to sit down with a new local band, Cody and the Tomahawks, brand new band, sort of brand new band here in the Salt Lake City area. I sat down with Jesse Long, Steve Butler, and Cody Chamberlain, found out about the band, found out about some upcoming shows that they're going to be doing, and I play a few tracks of theirs from an upcoming album of theirs that you can check out and purchase at a show that they might be playing near you here in the Salt Lake City area. Also, they're going to be playing some shows down in Southern California. So any of my California listeners, definitely go check them out. We're going to be talking about that all in the interview that I do with them upcoming here. Also, I want to mention we got a Salt Lake City Insta Walk coming up on June 8th. It's going to be at the first farmers market of the season, June 8th. We're going to be meeting at the main stage area at about 10 o'clock. So grab your smartphone, your camera, and come out and take pictures of us with us at the first farmers market downtown at Pioneer Park. If you want to keep up with any of the photo walks that I help host or am part of, make sure you follow that on Twitter at InstaWalkSLC if you are a fan of Twitter. Anyways, again, iamsaltlake.com is a website that way you can get in touch with me as well as follow me on any of those social media platforms. That way you can keep up with everything going on with the show. I'd love to hear from you guys. I got a voicemail line, 385-202-5926. Call up with any upcoming events that you want me to play on the podcast. I'd love to promote what you guys got going on here in Salt Lake City. A lot of really fun stuff going on this summer. So I'm going to quit talking. Let's now jump into that conversation that I had with Cody and the Tomahawks, and we're going to be playing some songs. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Thank you for listening to another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. Just kind of introduce yourself, what your role is in the band, and just kind of introduce yourself.
Start over here.
Yeah, we'll start with you.
I'm Cody Chamberlain, play bass, do the vocals, do all the management stuff, all the fun stuff.
All right, and you go ahead. Yeah.
I'm Steve, play the drums. Been fun. Been playing with these guys for quite a while in a couple different projects.
What about yourself?
Jesse, Kyle Long, guitars.
And now,
amazing guitar.
Amazing guitar. Have you guys been in any other bands together or?
Oh yeah, Steve and I go way back.
Well, share that story. I want to hear it.
Actually, it's pretty crazy. We didn't even know each other growing up or anything. I was playing at a show with a guitar player that I knew, and he's like, "You looking for a drummer?" And we were. And we went and jammed with him, and he was our drummer in a band called Behind the Eyes. That was probably a while ago.
2009.
Yeah.
Early 2010. Didn't last long.
Yeah, it's been a while. And then we got in this other band called Veggie Stew, which I started playing bass for, and then switched to guitar, did backup vocals.
So it'd be pretty fair to say you guys have all been pretty active in the local music scene for quite a while.
Yeah, definitely. Jesse has been.
I've been playing the local scene since probably 2003.
2003? What was the first band you were in?
It was called Wormhole. It was just a two-piece. I just, out of desperation, my best friend, I bought a drum kit and just taught him how to keep a basic beat, and we just were a jam band, instrumental jam band.
Do you ever play shows?
Yeah, we played a few shows. Urban Lounge, and we'd played a few shows. A bar used to be on State called Getty's. It's not there anymore, but
A name rings a bell.
yeah.
Name rings a bell.
I think it's like the Paper Moon now, but
Oh, the Paper Moon.
yeah, it used to be Getty's.
Yeah. You sure it wasn't the Paper Moon at that time?
I hope not.
You just went in there and hung out. Now, do you guys play any other instruments besides the ones you play in the band, or?
Yeah, I play guitar.
Play guitar.
A lot of writing I do on the acoustic.
Yeah, but I mean, do you play like any weird instruments like mandolin or flute or
Skin flute.
Harmonica.
skin flute? Yeah. Do you play the harmonica?
Yeah, there's a song on our album coming out.
Yeah, and
I do the
we'll play.
harmonica on.
We're gonna play a few tracks from that here too. I want to, so so about this album, you guys have an out. We were talking before recording. It's coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah, I think the album release is going to be June 15th.
June 15th.
Carroll's Cove. Should be a good time. Their sound guy is amazing.
Okay.
I like that place a
They've
lot.
got
Elvis and John Wayne washing over your back and playing.
They've got a lot of the sound gear that used to be Club Vegas. So
Okay.
the sound there is really kick-ass.
So yeah, talk a little bit about that show. So June 15th. I mean, or do you want to promote it at all, or no?
Oh yeah, promote it.
What, okay, so yeah, I mean, what are there any other bands
Come out.
playing that show?
Bastard
or?
John's going to be playing that one with us. There might be another band.
Not really sure.
That's TBA.
Okay, yeah, and obviously the best place, Facebook and whatnot to find
Yeah,
out more
definitely.
information, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, and then of course I always like to get the links on the website so people
Yeah,
can find out about you guys. Now, so how did you guys decide to start up this band and Cody and the Tomahawks?
Well, like Cody was saying earlier, when Behind the Eyes, the first band that Cody and I were in, went separate ways. That's when I met Jesse. I had been going to watch a lot of the shows that the band he was in before Veggie Stew, which was called 3 Reasons. And I used to go check their shows out all the time, and then ran into Jesse shortly after Behind the Eyes went down, and we just started jamming. He was like, "Hey, you play the drums, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool." And we went and he brought along his friend Tyler, who ended up being the singer for Veggie Stew. And it started with the 3 of us. We brought in Cody and our old bassist Ian. And then that was really successful and was working well. And once it just kind of hit a plateau, I think. And at that point, the 3 of us, we seemed to be more active in writing music. You know, we had less going on in our lives at the time. So we kind of started a side project saying, well, we'll just keep writing with the 3 of us, but we still had Veggie Stew going. And it just kind of materialized to the point where Veggie Stew stopped and the 3 of us kept going, and then decided, hey, let's pick a name and
go with
hurry
it.
and get an album. And so it's only been since we've only really been concentrating on this since
November.
January,
I think November was when
November.
we pretty much started, yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty new band. Pretty new.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the public response been like? Pretty good or
Really
what?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like it. It's a different kind of sound.
We'll play a track here, but how would you describe your sound? How would you describe it?
We don't really try to put ourselves in any particular genre.
Yeah.
I would call it mutt rock.
Mutt rock.
Yeah, it's just kind of a lot. There's reggae, there's some hip hop element.
We just
rock.
like music and
Yeah.
whatever whatever we're feeling at the time, and it might turn into a song. It might
A
not.
lot of
but
people
we're not restrictive.
have mentioned the Black Keys when they've seen us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's play a track. I'll let one of you guys pick the track we'll play here.
Let's do Witches and Wolves. That's the last track on our new album.
All right, we'll play that, and then we'll come back here and chat a little bit more. Have you guys always been pretty musical? I mean, growing up, did you guys come from musical families or?
Music for me was kind of a different thing. I never took classes. I took guitar 1 and 2 in high school, but that was
So for the most
easy
part,
A.
for the most part, you're pretty self-taught then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. What about you guys? I mean, pretty.
I grew up where music was highly appreciated, but nobody really played instruments.
Yeah.
I think my biological father, I never met the guy, but he was a pretty successful musician from what I was told in another state. Other than that, I didn't pick up an instrument until I got out of the Marines, which was in
so you're in the Marines?
2006, and I just wanted to play the drums.
Yeah.
Bought a kit and just played all the time. I was lucky enough to have a lot of free time for a while, and I just played and played and played, and then eventually took some lessons from Lynn Brown at Salt Lake Community College, and that really boosted my abilities. And that's all that's as far as I go with instruments.
What about yourself?
Well, I guess it started with my mom when she was pregnant with me. The story goes she used to put headphones on her belly and put Pink Floyd on. So I've been
a bit of a hippie.
I've been listening to music all my life.
His mom's awesome.
And then about teenage years, you start thinking about like, how can I get chicks, man? And
I love it.
And so I was like, well, rock stars, they get chicks, so that'd be kind of cool way. And my dad had played guitar, so I thought, well, if my dad could play guitar, then, I probably could do that.
Does music get you the chicks?
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. Nah.
You still got to have some game, but at least it gets you in the door.
I didn't know if that myth was accurate. Maybe I need to pick up an instrument, and that would help me out a little bit.
It definitely doesn't hurt.
Is there like growing up, what were some of the bands that you were listening to like at a young age?
It's kind of an interesting question.
I always like to find out, because we all have our embarrassing musicians that we listen to at a young age.
Well, we're kind of have an age difference here.
Okay.
So I'm the youngest. I'm 24. But I grew up listening to one of my favorite bands of all time, Modest Mouse.
Oh, excellent band.
And it's this music that we play is almost nothing like that.
No, that's expected.
But I enjoy all kinds of music.
Yeah.
Hip hop. Not a huge country guy, but yeah, just kind of all over the place.
I grew up with a lot of country in my family. And I would say like 80s pop country. So a lot of Reba McEntire, Garth Brooks, George Strait, that little cluster of country artists that's what my family would play all the time. And that's the first thing I remember hearing. But my dad had this little suitcase that packed around cassette tapes. When they would be at work or whatever, like before I would have to walk to school in the morning, I would just dig in those tapes and put it in the tape player. And he had a lot of Rush albums in there and some Led Zeppelin. He had Scorpions.
So like how young
Boston.
of an age were you? Like
at
maybe
that
like
point,
8 years old?
Yeah,
or?
8 to 10, really young. And then moving into junior high, I was really into like Rage Against the Machine, Tool, the Chili Peppers. And that kind of genre there, I was really heavy into all that. Metallica, I loved Metallica. And from that point on, I just kind of spiraled out into most genres as far as listening to it. I really liked my heavy rock, just hard hitting, like shaky rock.
What was your favorite Metallica album? I love Metallica.
Just the Black Album.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love Metallica. So old Metallica, newer Metallica, not so much.
Yeah, and I liked a lot of like Pantera, but I'd have to say thanks to my dad for having that stash of music. If it wasn't for him, all I would have been given or shown from my family anyway was solid country. They didn't listen to anything but that. And a lot of that I enjoyed. Still to this day, I like to listen to some of it. But for the most part, I like, like groovy,
just good
groovy rock.
Yeah.
And then Neil Peart, of course. My dad loved Rush, and so that was in his.
Well, Rush,
CD player
great drummer.
Yeah.
Great drummer.
Oh,
I mean, I've never met a drummer that didn't appreciate Rush.
They'd be hard pressed to say anything bad about the guy.
Yeah. What about you? What you come?
Well, I growing up, my mom was always listening to classic rock, like I said, Pink Floyd.
So you listen to a lot of classic rock
growing up. And then 8 or 10 years old, I think a babysitter turned me on to Guns N' Roses, and that was like
the babysitter
Appetite for Destruction on repeat for like years. And
did you have like a Guns N' Roses jean jacket, with the patch on it?
No, nothing like that. Then I think around junior high is when I started really getting into exploring music and trying to find out about it. And I think I got into Led Zeppelin and also some of the stuff that was happening at that time, like Nirvana and stuff.
Yeah.
I was listening to that. older I got, I kind of just started going kind of back towards like Pink Floyd and Beatles, the Stones, classic rock
the
stuff.
roots, man, where music really started happening. Are any of you guys like vinyl collectors at all?
I have quite a bit of vinyl and a record player that I can't figure out how to fix. It doesn't seem to work anymore.
Yeah, I had I mean, that's actually on my list of like must buys. I had a really nice record player, and then it kind of got broken between moves, and now I'm like pissed off. And
You got all those records.
yeah,
Nothing to play 'em with.
but I love vinyl. I love that sound of vinyl, that crackling.
Well, it's cool too. Just the album covers, and they're
Yeah.
just bigger and more vibrant, and it just feels better holding
Different
a big
experience.
Do you think like
record.
with music kind of going more digital and so easy to access, do you think people appreciate it as much as maybe back in the day when you had to go to a record store and search out music?
I think you're the same group of people who go out to local shows and listen to music on, that's one of the things that they like to do, listen to music. A lot of people don't really care that much for it. I think, that they'll still be interested in vinyl and all that, but I don't think it's going to like take over the world. Everybody can just click and buy the music they want online.
Or Pandora and Spotify. It's just like, okay, and then they don't even pay attention. But at the same time, I'm sure it helps even local bands like yourself, where people can find you online, listen to you,
Share.
and share.
And it's sort of expected nowadays. You can, if people don't have the time to sit around, like they might really want to listen to your music and be like, cool, we want to check it out. But if you can't give them a fast, direct link to, oh, well, you can just buy it here on this or listen to it here, they're not really going to take the time. So if you're trying to come up as a local band, like your first step, you kind of need to have something, either something hard to give to them or something online ready for them to listen to. Otherwise, you can't just be like, well, we'll have some music for you later. It's almost like necessary now for bands coming up. If you want anybody to listen to your stuff at all, like that's the very first step you need to take, is have your stuff online.
Are you going to have your new album on iTunes or are you gonna,
Yeah, it's going to be on iTunes.
You're going to try to get it on there? And I know a lot of like local bands are even on like Spotify and stuff.
We're going through CD Baby.
Okay,
so,
yeah, they hook you up through all that.
they do.
That way
they
people
sign you
can.
up for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, Spotify.
Nice.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Spotify is a great. It's
really
like
is.
you pay your $10 a month and you can
Even the free version's awesome.
Well, yeah, the free version. But like if I'm out driving around or something, to be able to access a whole CD.
I like the sharing culture of Spotify as well.
Yeah, well, we need to become Spotify friends then.
We should.
Yeah,
I have 13 followers on one of my playlists.
Do you? Well, there you go.
Start throwing our songs on there, man.
13 followers. There you go. Let's play another track here. You guys pick it.
Yeah, let's listen to World Outside.
World Outside. Any fun story behind this song? Or?
It's definitely different than the first song we played. It's kind of a little bit more poppy.
Now, who writes?
Fun.
Before we play this, who writes most of the lyrics for it?
I write all the lyrics.
You write all the lyrics. So
Yeah.
you might have mentioned that in the beginning. I apologize.
I don't think I did, but
Okay.
I just said that I sang. But yeah, I do all the lyrics. As far as songwriting, we all pretty much write the songs.
Write the songs together, kind of
Mash
collaborate and write. What inspires you? Like, is there any kind of like with your writing, like
anything really,
that comes to you?
Anything. The human experience
Yeah.
is what inspires me.
Human experience. All right. Well, let's play a song. We'll come back. We'll chat some more. So.
And so here we are, our world has come so far, we have all become victims of ourselves. Let me tell you this, the world can make you sick, we all have a voice, yeah, so sing it out like hey, 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 yeah. Like hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Like hey, circles we may go, but no one really knows. Sure feels like a time is winding down. Stand up on your feet, don't forget that you are free. We all have a voice, yes, so sing it out loud. Hey, yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. outside is a point of view. It leaves you here, shattered by its truth. But someday you will realize it's all we have, and living each moment. Good into the
Have you guys had an experience of like in any of your other bands, like playing outside of Utah at all? Have you guys done any kind of tours, or has it all just been Utah shows that you guys have played? You guys ever make it up to like Ogden or
we do.
Logan
Ogden.
or
Never to Logan.
Never to Logan?
We haven't even played south of Salt Lake, really, have we?
Provo. You never made it down to Provo yet, huh?
I want to go play Velour.
Yeah, I've heard, you know, and I was actually just talking to somebody in one of my interviews about Velour, just about the atmosphere of that place. And I really need to drive down there, but you know, that drive, and I know I've complained about that. It's not that far though. That's what's ridiculous. It really isn't that far.
It's like doing your laundry. You just procrastinate, and you're like, yeah, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
no, I don't like taking those drives.
Do you guys make it out to like many other local shows at all? Do you guys go out to like?
Yeah, we like to go out and go
have some
hang
beers
out.
and
go check out new clubs. We went to the Royal last night.
What was that show? What was it last? The Polytype show.
I think it was Friday.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that was Friday. Okay.
It was like King Nico.
Yeah, I wanted to go out to that show, but I didn't make it out to that.
Yeah, it's Saturday. They were just doing a dance thing, but that's a pretty nice club.
Is it pretty cool?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Because it's a brand new place, right? Just barely opened up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, former owners of Liquid Joe's.
And hopefully they start doing more shows there, right? Or is that kind of the plan to do more shows?
I think they're going to have the Friday night. It's going to be live music night.
Yeah. Do you guys prefer like all ages shows or 21 and over? Does it really matter? Or?
I don't know. They have their benefits in different ways. It's a lot harder to get paid unless you have a lot of merch at all ages shows.
Yeah.
Because they're not charging. They charge the door, but the door goes to the venue most of the time. But we played Mojo's in Ogden. That's a really awesome club.
Is that all ages?
Yeah, it's an all ages.
I don't really go up to Ogden, so I
yeah. If you do, go to that club.
I've been to Kamikazes in Ogden.
Yeah,
we've there once.
We played there.
That's a cool place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a really cool place.
Nice and gothic.
Yeah, with the skeletons over the stage.
Well, it's like an old church, you know, and so
it's very Ogden-y.
Very Ogden-y.
Which is not a bad thing.
So you guys got a show coming up. You guys are going down to L.A. to play a show.
Yeah, we're going to
talk about that.
Strip.
How did that happen? Let's talk about that.
Well, we've always wanted to play either the Whiskey, the Viper Room, House of Blues, just all the Hollywood clubs. But we just hit them up. They liked our music. There was another band that's playing from Europe called Gentlemen of Verona. They're actually really good. If you like Jack White kind of music, they're definitely worth checking out. But yeah, we're going to be playing there on June 9th with them. We just hit them up and said, hey, we kind of have a lot of songs that sound like that, kind of the darker blues stuff. So
yeah, so you know, my 2 or 3 California listeners, you know, maybe go
check us out, man.
Go check them out. You know, if you're June 9th.
Yeah, we've got friends and family coming down.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of my old friends from the Marines are going to show up, and a lot of them
are they from California? Do they live?
Or they live there?
Yeah.
So that'll be nice. I haven't seen a lot of those guys in a while.
That's a pretty cool venue, man. That's like a pretty big,
world famous.
You guys you nervous to play there or what?
A little bit, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, do you get excited?
Do you still get nervous like before you go on to play a show? I mean, is there still that anxiety?
Anxiety, yeah, I get the anxiety.
It just depends.
Still, but not bad. Just knowing it's just like a natural thing. My body knows that we're about to go up there, and so once I have my stuff set up, then I'm fine. I hate the getting ready to get up there when you're switching between 4 and 5 bands, and then you got to figure out how to get your shit out of the car if it's already all the room's already taken up. That's what gives me anxiety. Once it's all set up, then I'm fine. I'm ready.
Yeah, just depends on how many beers I've had.
Any like embarrassing stories, like playing live or anything, or any crazy stories?
In Veggie Stew, we had a pretty bad show.
Let's hear about it.
At the woodshed, we thought it would be a great idea. They just opened their patio up. There's two kind of stage areas. I don't know if you've been there, but there's like the one
I've been to woodshed
riser, and then there's the other side. And we're like, well, we'll put the drummer over there, and we'll be over here. Yeah, there you couldn't hear anyone else. They had these bright lights that were just blinding you right in your face.
And we were all smashed.
Yeah, we were all.
I was shit faced, and it was like at least midnight. We went on. It seemed like we went on so late. So by the time I remember just stumbling, even trying to get my stands put together when we were trying to set up, and it was dark as shit, and I had to haul my stuff in through the back gate. Just oh man, I knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
How do you know how much to drink? I've always wondered that in a band. You know, like how do you know?
You probably shouldn't drink any.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been curious of that because, like, I mean, you know, I've had those nights where it's like, whoa, I've had way too much to drink, but it's like I couldn't imagine being really fucked up and playing an instrument. I mean, do you guys forget like some of your stuff or what?
Yeah,
if you're too messed up or what?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it's easier to be selfish when you're messed up. So you know, at least for me, it's, you know, you got to pay attention to the other instruments, because if they would like to go somewhere else, we're pretty good at communicating through our instruments. So if Jesse wants to extend a solo or something, or not even do or shorten it up or something, then you got to pay attention to that. But like when I play drunk, it's like that's where I'll mess up, is not being able to stay on with them if they want to sidestep something or slow, because I'm trying to swing sticks. So I'm like, oh, I can feel it in my head, and I go to do it, and it's like, oh shit.
So now, did you guys grow up here in Salt Lake then, or what? Or where are you guys from? What's your guys' stories
sure
with
we
that?
all
Y'all grew up here, like in the area.
I grew up in Magna.
In Magna.
Yeah, I'm a South Jordan.
South Jordan.
Sugar House.
That's where you were raised, right there in Sugar House, huh? Beautiful area. Love Sugar House. Well, Magna's got its perks, you know.
Oh yeah,
you know, you know,
for about $25.
For about 20. What are some of, you know, I'm always curious when I bring people on the show. Just what are some of your favorite things about living in the city? I mean, especially, you know, you're older, you're not young. I mean, you obviously have the ability to move away. I'm sure we all do when we get older. But what are some of the things that you like about living here?
I think one of my favorite things is not to bash on like religion or anything, but it kind of people that aren't religious here. Mm-hmm. I think they're really a lot deeper. A lot of places don't have to deal with the kind of things that we
and I hear that a lot, you know, and I mean, I feel the same way.
It's connecting. It like brings, you feel a sense of community almost, of the underculture.
The underculture, I guess you would call it, but there's a lot of really interesting people
that are part of that. Do you think people here are like more supportive too? I find that like even with the podcast, it's like anything a little different. It's like they want to support it. You know, people come out to, you know, support local music just because it's here and it's something of their own and it's from their community. Do you find that people want to support you more here than, but I mean, I guess it's not like you've lived other places.
I guess we've never really experienced
yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of a hard question to ask.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting culture. We got a lot of hip hop and stuff like that. It's I think there's a big, like, just like I was saying earlier, the underground kind of
the
people.
Underground scene. Yeah.
It's a lot deeper, I think, than.
Do you have like any favorite spots in Salt Lake? Like any like, you know, favorite parks or favorite like places that you like to go? Certain, I don't know, like, you know, one of my favorite places, Memory Grove. I don't know if you guys ever been there. You know, it's a cool little area to go to, you know.
I need to go check out more places.
Yeah.
The one thing I need to do is go skiing or snowboarding. I have not been skiing or snowboarding the entire time I've lived here.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have a lot to say. I mean, I've only been like twice, 2-3 times, you know, myself.
Yeah, me too.
And that's my excuse too, is it's expensive, you know, to get out there. You got to get the pass. You got to get the board. You got to take the day off of work, you know.
It's something you think, you know, most people kind of start young.
Yeah.
Get into that at a young age. Cause the few times I went, I was older and I just injured myself.
I think one of my favorite things about, I guess it's not Salt Lake, but I really like Park City.
Yeah, I mean, Park City. I mean, we're all connected. You know, we really are. Park City's kind of an interesting area in its own because it's almost like another world.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Everything's
more expensive.
Yeah, it's like a mini Hawaii or something inside of Utah. Mm-hmm. You know, do you guys have any like favorite? Like, I'm always curious too. Also, Like any favorite local eateries, cafes, eating spots? You know, we all like to eat.
Blue Plate.
Okay, yeah, Blue Plate's got good. You know,
really
and you're
good.
the first person I think ever on my show that's mentioned that.
That place
Blue.
is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, really good food and just a cool atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Cotton Bottom.
Great burgers, great
Awesome.
burgers,
And
great
good
burgers.
location in the summertime when you sit out on the little patios. It's awesome. We used to eat there when a lot of people just stop there for work.
What's your favorite?
Lunches.
What's your favorite thing to get from a
The
Cotton?
garlic burger.
Yeah,
That's,
that's-
I think that's the only thing I've ever had there.
I just
so
wanted to
can
hear. I just
vouch
wanted
for
to
it.
hear somebody else say that. You know, you know.
I go there for the potato chips.
You go there for the
yeah,
potato
they're
chips.
fresh.
You guys ever hit up any like the local food trucks or anything that are in town at all? Have you guys hit up any of those yet?
No, it's kind of hard because
That guy's name.
I wish we lived downtown where
Yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
closer to some.
Yeah, they're
Hit up the occasional taco stand.
yeah. Well, yeah, the taco stand on
wrong
one
with
like
that.
over there by Sears. You know, that's always a fun place. To,
Oh, yeah.
To go grab a burrito.
After
Our
bar.
breweries, our local breweries are awesome.
Yeah, what are some of your? I mean, your favorite local beers? You got any favorites? Or
the
what?
Devastator is by far my favorite.
the
Not only because of the artwork, but it's awesome. Tastes good and it's a nice high percentage. It's awesome now. I remember when I first turned 21 and was buying beer in the Salt Lake Valley. It was always just the generic Miller Lite, Coors, that kind of stuff. And now it's like every gas station has just almost a whole
Area of
couple
local
aisles
squatters,
dedicated
Epic, you know,
to
whatever.
local stuff, and they're awesome beers. And I think that's so awesome because almost every brewery around here kind of has a little spark in their smile where they're kind of sticking it to, like Cody was talking about earlier. Like, you know what, we're not infringing on your lifestyle, but we're gonna live the way we want.
It is pretty amazing that we have such good microbrews and local
Yeah.
beers here, you know, for being
Really good.
Utah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people wouldn't expect that out of Utah at all. What advice would you give, like, say, somebody who wants to start a band? You got any advice? I mean, you guys have been in quite a few bands.
I mean, I think more important than being good at your instruments is just connecting well with the other people in the band. Just if you're gonna last a long time, like we've been in bands together for a long time now, and it's just because we mesh well,
We get along.
Yeah.
It's fun.
and that's
And you,
that's the
you think
key.
that's probably the most, you think that's maybe why a lot of bands break up, maybe
Oh,
too,
definitely.
just because it's like people just get pissed off with each other and just say, I can't
Yeah.
handle you. You know, you're in a van after a while. And,
There's a lot of tenacity out there, like a lot of musicians coming into this, just like artists, anything in that creative side of the world, they have a lot of drive to them. And so you get playing with some people who are they have tunnel vision. And they're like, we're going to play this kind of music and be this way. And this is how I imagine it. And so, you know, if people can just take a step back and realize that everyone in the band has the vision as well. And it's like, you got to kind of put your own little Hitler ride on hold. You know what I mean? If you're going to play with other people, or else it's never going to, I feel like you can just feel the tension in the music if if you're not playing with somebody.
or you can see
You
it
get
on
along with it,
stage
yeah.
a lot of times.
So you guys get along pretty good. I mean, what's been like the most challenging thing then with being in a band or creating music?
Funding.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, I mean, people listening hear that. I mean, it's how important it is to come out to your shows,
Yeah, definitely.
buy your music at the show, buy it directly from the bands, you know, because then the money goes right to you instead of through.
I think there's a
another
lot
source.
of local bands that are probably almost as good as the national acts.
Yeah.
That you can find. It's just sometimes hard to find them, especially I know a lot of people probably have had bad experiences going to the bar, seeing local music and the band just sucks.
Or the
something
sounding,
like
or
that.
the sound is, not
but
that
it's
great.
just, there'll be nights that is really fun. So it's definitely worth going and checking out. Not just our band, but
What are
check
some
out
other
bands.
bands you guys have been? I mean, any local band wise?
Funk Fu.
Yeah,
Those guys are
Funk Fu's
awesome. They've been
great.
around for a long time.
Yeah.
I love Starmy,
Starmy is
Royal
awesome.
Bliss.
Sex Wax
Royal Bliss.
Surfers.
I mean, they're really blowing up.
Yeah, Sex Wax Surfers are cool.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. If you like surf music, check them out.
Okay.
But there's a lot of bands,
There's a lot
and
of
there's
good
always
bands.
new ones. That's definitely worth checking out. There's a band down in Provo called New Electric Sound.
I haven't heard them. Pretty good. What do they sound like?
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, well,
they're kind of
I'll check
more
them out.
modern.
Yeah.
But they're a really good band.
Really good band.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got picked up.
Provo bands are getting signed.
Yeah.
I mean, left and right down there, and that's kind of been another thing I've talked about on Malta. I don't know what it is down there. You know, there's something.
Happy Valley, man.
Happy Valley.
Gotta be something.
Yeah. So besides playing music, I mean, what other hobbies and interests? Share a little bit about what you guys do outside of music.
I like to do a lot of art stuff. Like I enjoy making posters and that kind of stuff. Website design.
So like kind of a graphic artist.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Do you do that for a career or just for fun?
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
And then Walking Dead and watch football.
Awesome.
Love The Walking Dead.
That's a good show. It's a good
Really
show. Good show. What about the rest of you guys? You guys got any other hobbies, interests, stuff that kind of keeps you guys, or is it just music? Everything's music.
Yeah, just mostly music.
No, I have my girlfriend and 2 kids that keep me
So you're a family
occupied.
man.
Yeah, and so I don't ever have to sit around and not have something to do. That's really nice. I never ever have to be like, oh man, what should I do now? Because kids, they always have something to do. So
How old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
5 and 5 right now. They're Irish twins. They're like 10 months apart.
Wow.
Yeah. So the oldest, the girl, she's turning 6 next month, June 16th.
Now,
Month
I mean,
6 and 5.
do they come out and like support you at your shows?
Yeah,
at all?
they
Does
used
your
to.
family come
They
out,
actually
or
used to come to our practices all the time because we practice in Magna, and that's where I had lived for a long time. Just recently moved up to Cottonwood Heights, so Whitney and the kids would come over, and the kids would just hang out and I'd put headphones on them, and they'd rock out when we play, and then we'd let them mess around on the instruments, and they have a good time. And they actually came to that Mojo show that Cody had mentioned earlier, and just up there, they were our only 2 little dancers. But they have a really good relationship with these 2 as well. So it's like a family. These guys are just as involved with the kids as anybody in my family or Whitney's family are. And I forgot what I was going to say. But
No, you're good. That's awesome. I love to see like family being part of it, instead of like, oh, he's a loser for playing music or something.
Yeah, that was a big concern. And fortunately, it's nice having somebody. I've never had it like that before, but Whitney's very supportive and comes to the shows and helps me carry my gear around. You can't really ask for much more support than that.
What about the rest of you guys? You got family that supports you, comes out to your shows at all, or no?
Yeah, my mom still comes to almost every show.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Does it embarrass you at all, or no? Maybe at first.
It's not really. Sometimes maybe a little.
Yeah.
But I'm glad she's there. So
That's great, though. That's really cool. I wish
She loves it. That's her favorite thing to do. She comes to all the shows.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about some of your. So the show's coming up. I know we talked about the one at Whiskey, June 9th, right?
Yep, June 9th.
Okay. What other than the 16th? Let's kind of refresh here.
We actually have another show in LA.
Let's talk about some of the shows coming up.
It's at a place called California Institute of Abnormal Arts.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting.
And that's here in Utah?
No, that's actually
in California.
yeah.
Oh, so you got a couple shows down in California.
Yeah, we've got 2 set up down there. So that one's on the 7th, June 7th. It's kind of like a nice little warm-up show. And then we're going to play the Whiskey.
Do you guys plan on doing any tours or anything coming up? I mean,
we want to.
You want to. Again, it's probably just funding.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funding and logistics too. Like we don't have a van.
Okay.
Which is what we need to get. It'd be nice. If anybody got a van that they'll use, that'd be awesome.
What about other like Salt Lake shows? You got any Salt Lake shows? That 16th show, the CD.
that was the 15th.
Yeah, June 15th at Carroll's Cove.
Okay.
And then we got a pretty cool show. We're doing actually set up a charity show for Utah Humane Society.
Nice.
For July 12th at the Green Pig.
A benefit show.
Yeah, it's going to be all the money we make is going to the Utah Humane Society.
So July 12th at the Green Pig. Do you know what the other band's playing?
Got some really good bands playing too. Son of Ian.
Oh, they're really good.
They're really good. And so is Wasnatch is going to be playing.
I haven't heard them yet.
They're a really good reggae band. That's another band I want to shout out. Is Newborn Slaves. I really enjoy their music. If you like reggae,
I like some reggae.
Can't go wrong.
So that's kind of your setup right now of upcoming shows, pretty much.
Those are big
and you're on
ones.
Facebook. Do you guys do Twitter or no?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Get into it.
I'm just thinking, people listening, that's probably going to be the best way to, find out about upcoming shows and get out and support you guys. Check you guys. Do you guys have a website or no?
We've got a URL. It just links to the Facebook, which is codyandthetomahawks.com. If you don't want to try to search it on Facebook.
Okay.
Sometimes that's a pain in the ass, but.
So codyandthetomahawks.com will take you to the Facebook page.
Yeah, codyandthetomahawks.com.
Yeah, plug away, man. You got to promote yourself. I love it.
codyandthetomahawks.com.
Go ahead.
But I guess the other thing is that our debut album is coming out. That's the June 15th show at Carroll's Cove is going to be a release of that, but it's called The Sticks. Full. We didn't do a demo. We wanted to do the full album.
And you were mentioning 12. There's 12 songs on the CD.
Yeah, there's
right?
12 songs.
12 songs.
45 minutes. It's a legit album.
Yeah,
which is nice because we've
never done that.
Yeah,
I've
we've never
never
done that in any other band. It's
just
always demo, and
or
then the band
EPs.
breaks up or something, and then you put out another demo, and the band breaks up. So
yeah,
it's kind of nice having a full
and
album.
We have we're very lucky to have Jesse. He didn't mention it is another hobby of his, but he's awesome at mixing and recording. He does a lot of that himself, pretty much everything. He did do all the recording, mixing, and mastering on this album. It was all done by Jesse.
You have like a little recording studio or what? Or
Pretty
home
much.
studio.
home studio.
Yeah.
Well, what song do you guys want to go out with? Let's go out with one more song.
Diamond Eyes.
Diamond Eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, this song actually has a feature on it. It's a local hip hop guy. His name's Mr. Walk.
What up, Mr. Walk?
What up, miss? Anything else you guys want to mention before we jump into the song? I want to thank you so much, seriously, for coming on the show and for your support of the podcast, and for doing what you guys do. I mean, you guys definitely make Salt Lake City. Everybody here contributes, I think, to making the area what it is, and if more people just got off their butts and did something, I think.
Like, go to a show.
Go,
Not even if it's us. Just go to a local
I just
show.
want to say, like, if you are going to come to a show, just know that it's really distracting to us when you show us your tits. So,
okay.
Yeah. So whatever you do, don't show us your tits.
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Awesome. All right.
Dangerous.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you again. This was awesome.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Chris.
thanks a lot, man.
I appreciate what you're doing for the local scene very, very much so.
She's got eyes like diamonds. Oh, and lips that could kill. Oh, yeah, she knows what she's doing. Baby, you know how I feel.
She's a whore, fine with being a bad girl. Hides on the prize out to conquer the world. She knows what she wants more stuff till she gets it. A selfish little bitch doesn't circle to give it. He's a sucker for love, being real to fake. He's got money in the bank that she's willing to take. Sees the diamonds in her eyes, plays along for fun. Goes along with the line just to keep getting some.
Cool like a cat, yeah, but bites like a viper. Smells like